Hi boys, welcome back. New episode. A little backstory. We have Nicholas here. A little backstory. Nicholas comes to my gym, and he's the founder of Paris Panini. And for a few days, I used to keep seeing him at the gym, and I didn't know who he was. And one day, I was just scrolling through reels, and I got this reel from Backstage with Millionaires. And I'm
Okay.
like, I've seen this guy somewhere. Then I realized it's Nicholas from the gym. And for the next like 2-3 days,
Okay.
I tried to
He
approach
was
Nicholas.
hunting me, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I gotta talk to him. And then once I spoke to, like, I was there, okay. I don't know why I was feeling nervous
Okay.
to approach like Nicholas. I was like, no, it feels weird.
Okay.
And I almost reached out and I left. Okay. I don't know why.
Okay.
And just one fine day, he was doing the cycling thing. I was like, Nicholas, I've seen you. Come on the pod, and now he's here.
Nice.
Man, welcome to
Thanks.
the
Thanks,
podcast,
guys.
bro.
Yeah.
So it's always crazy to have a founder here because it's always like an insightful session for us. Like including the podcast, he with his clothing brand, we're like getting into this area where we're exploring our own business sides.
Yeah.
So I think
Which is great. At what age did you start? What age did you start your first company? This jacket.
This started a few months ago.
But what age? How old are you?
I think, 2021.
That's great. I started when I was 22, so I think you're on the track.
You started when you were 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's get
Let's get into how you
start
started.
from- yeah. So, where were you born? And tell us about your early childhood.
Yeah, your story coming here.
So I was born in a small city in the north of France called Arras.
Alright.
And so north of France, I spent about 17 years up there. Then went to Lille, studied in the Catholic University, and then went down south to Marseille for my business schools there. Now, if you ask me, like, oh, you have Paris Panini, like you wanted to open a restaurant when you were a kid, were you like dreaming of like being a chef in a Michelin star and all of that? Not really. This passion came much later, I would say, like probably after I started working, because what I feel is, you can learn a lot of things at school, a lot of theoretical stuff, great, but as long as you're not getting your hands dirty and doing something, you will never know what you really want to do. So like it started as I was like running, I was a educator in a summer camp to start with. I didn't really like it, to be honest.
Okay.
And my after that I went to multiple internships. I did one internship in London. I did internship in Lille also, where I studied. But my true love, I would say, was when I started working in restaurants. And so I started working in restaurant when I was 18, and after that I never left the industry while I was doing my study, while I was studying from 17, 18 till I came to India. I was working in restaurants.
So before the restaurant came up, before you started working in the restaurant, like what was your vision for your future back then when you went into business school and all that?
See, my idea was I want to learn as much as possible when it comes to business. So
Okay.
I studied international management. I studied also entrepreneurship to understand the basis of how to start a business. Because even when I was in business school, I had a project of starting starting something. Like I set up a business plan with my flatmate at that time. It was a renting website. So for example, you have like very expensive camera, or you have like a PS4, or you have like a scooter that you don't use for 1 month or two, you want to put it on rent. So I had done a business plan about this. At the end, I
Okay.
did not start this business because I came to India, but yeah, it's fun business schools, because if as much as possible you should be involved, I would say, into the associative side of the business school, where you create like association, you're part of small businesses also. Like the business school is really fun to learn all of that kind of little like getting first experiences into, like, you know, like you're like a kid. I mean, kid, you're like 20 years old, you're like still learning things. You feel that you're kind of overconfident about like things you want to do in life, and you want to express them yourself. So you know, that's when you start small tiny business steps. And you know, so that's how I felt, and that's how I lived my business schools there. And but yeah, these startup things did not see light, because I came to India, and I knew that I would be at least here for 6 months. So I was like, let me first discover India, understand how it works, and then I'll get back to.
So when you started thinking about business, you've always wanted to be a business owner, and you've never wanted to be maybe like an employee.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I think we all want to be a business owner. You want to create something. You want to be your own. You want to show your own self, and show that like you're capable of doing things. So I feel that we all have like in our soul like some entrepreneur spirit. But then you build on your skills, you build on your skill set and mind on how do I set this up, and how do I bring this to life, as simple as this.
So for me, in my clothing brand, I just started recently, and it's the most simple business you can start. And while I'm doing this, I've realized, bro, there's so many small things that come like in the middle.
Once you start doing it, it comes into realization.
Yeah,
So,
like I thought I'll buy maybe a few jackets and I sell it. Okay, that was the easy part. There's stuff like logistics, there's media, marketing, photo shoots,
Paying taxes.
paying taxes. Not yet. So, yeah, and when you came to Bangalore, you had to make a decision there, which place to go, which country to go to. So, why did you choose to come to Bangalore, and what were the reasons?
Yeah, what led up to that
Why
decision?
how did I end up in Bangalore is mostly because I feel deep down I'm very adventurous, and when it came to, I had this internship to do during my business school, so I've learned so much of business, but I had not experienced where like the Asian countries. And from what we hear in school, it's like all the business happens in Asia, with like
Things because of the numbers.
Alibaba, like you hear about those success story, Alibaba, for example, and how like made in India, made in China, how you trade in Asia. It's quite big, and it's kind of like you dream of this while growing up, because it's like all big numbers. It's also like big companies and big things in life at the time, and you want to explore it. So that's how like I when I was looking for an internship, I wanted to do it in Asia. So I looked at opportunities in China, in Japan, and I landed here. I was really looking forward for this opportunity here, because I had heard so much about India overall, but I really wanted to experience it myself, and I was really like curious about India, how it is, how do people do business in India? Is it like such unsafe country that like people talk about it so bad in the news in Europe? So I was wondering myself. So that's why I felt that if I don't do it now also, when would I do it? You know, when you're like 20, when you're in your 20s, that's, I feel, the moment where like it's time to explore, it's time to travel, because it's not when you grow up, you have responsibilities, you have kids, that like you can, I don't have kids, guys.
Not yet.
But it's not at that time that like you can go around and be like, oh, let me try this for a year, let me like take a leap of faith and see like if I can do something out of this. I'm very passionate about this, maybe I can try. Like when you're 20s, it's the ideal time. Like please guys, like just go
go out
and
there
live your
and
dream.
start.
Like, so that's why for me, like it was more of, okay, I'll go, I'll learn how much ever I can, and just to understand the country also. and then I might go back to France. I might not. Let's see. I will see how it feels there, and how's the experience, and at the end I've not gone back. I mean,
The thing is, when you talked about, being in your 20s and it's the ideal age to like go out and explore, I feel like India is so, what do you say, restrictive in that. Like, it's claustrophobic because once you graduate or you finish college, it's that rush, bro. It's like a rat race. Like, there's that rush to get shit done.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
for example, I feel like in a little bit of more first world countries, there's a little bit more leeway where okay, you can choose from 5, 6 different fields to choose from. Here, there's three. There's mainly
engineering.
engineering, MBBS, or commerce. That's it.
Yeah.
So back in France, when you heard about India and Bangalore, what was the perspective? Like, what kind of information were you getting as a French person?
To be honest, not so many positive views I got on Bangalore. Mostly India, I would say, like, because Bangalore, I knew that it was obviously the IT hub of India. So
I'm sorry, how long ago was this?
that was 10 years back,
10 years back. Okay.
in 2014.
14.
So I heard like about Bangalore being the IT hub, so that was also motivated me to explore, because like IT was also booming at that time, and I knew that somehow there will be a lot of opportunities, because at that time even Silicon Valley was quite popular, getting more and more coverage, and I was like, see, if Silicon Valley is like has so much of potential, why in India we would not have so much of potential? So from this to, I mean, as I said, mostly you talk about like dirty environment with low end infrastructures, but with an IT side that is like booming and also getting close to what we see abroad, like I mean in Europe or in US, so which has like a fairly good
Reputation.
amount of
Yeah.
like potential, and so that's how I heard about India overall. But like, to be honest, when I came here, I was like, why do people have such a negative image of not just Bangalore but India overall? Because what I felt was like Bangalore, India is very rich from its tradition, its culture. Here I was doing my internship throughout the week. I was doing my internship, and then on the weekend I would go to Hampi, I would go to Chennai, I would go to Kerala. Like, the thing is, India or Bangalore has like so much opportunity in terms of traveling, in terms of being connected to everything. So it's a big strength for Bangalore, because as much as it's such a cosmopolitan city to live in, like there's still a lot to explore around, because it's so well connected. And yeah, like Bangalore is a great city to live in at the end.
Yeah, but like compared to France, right? How do you think your life would be if you were still in France compared to, like, do you think you'd have the same opportunities, the same
No.
gateways?
I would
No?
have not had, see, starting a Panini brand in France would have definitely not been the same. Here somehow, like, you can, when I started this business, I had like, with my partners, we invested around 20 lakhs. Man,
Okay.
like, if, like, you could start a business with 20 lakhs in France, like, it's impossible. Not a food business.
Really?
Yeah.
But what's the overhead cost for 20 lakhs? Like, what are the costs?
So for 20 lakhs, it's all about the equipments, then your real estate, because you need a place to cook, and then I was starting a food truck, so I had to buy a truck that I modified. Man, you can barely buy a vehicle for 20. I mean, you can buy a vehicle for 20 lakh. I made a vehicle with a fully functional kitchen, and I set up a base kitchen as well for just 20 lakhs.
And who
So,
had-
like, also, if you see, like, if you think about it, those numbers, if today you wanted to do the same thing, it would probably cost around 30 to probably even 40 lakhs,
40
because
lakhs.
the cost of
Inflation
living
and
and the
everything,
cost
yeah.
of everything has gone up so much here. And also, I think even in terms of experiences or even in terms of standards, slowly India is evolving, and people are expecting like when before you could eat like at any corner of the street or anything and everything, now you expect like to have some kind of experience, like some kind of sit down. You want to like, yeah, like have like a
Ambience,
kind of
like,
moment
yeah.
to share with your friends. You
Are
know?
you are you taking that bet where India as a culture is going to be a little bit more Western, where there's more disposable income, people are going to spend more on experiences and stuff like that? Do you
That's
think
what's happening, no?
That
Yes.
is what, yeah, you
That's
clocked it
what's-
in right. I can't tell you.
That's what's happening. It's not even just about how they live locally, but people are more exposed to the Western culture. Not saying that like Western culture is like invading India and Bangalore. I feel that it's nice to see like a mix of culture, like Indo-Western culture, because that's where you take the best out of the two. And it's great to see like India like getting more and more aware of the like international or abroad, or be it in terms of service, be it in terms of goods as well, like being exposed to way more things and travel. Like man, like 10 years ago, like how many of your friends had traveled abroad, and
Yeah.
if you see now, it's actually quite insane.
So much
Quite
time.
common.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
becoming like, yeah, it's getting democratized to
Yeah, and you have like great
travel.
companies being able to deliver the prices very cheap also, like Vistara and Indigo.
Yeah.
So it's very cheap for Indians to do that
Yeah,
also.
for sure.
So, yeah.
So, I think 5-6 years ago, Indians wouldn't spend as much, like our disposable income wasn't high. So when for example, my business, I sell these jackets for around 3 to 4K, and I never expected anyone to buy any of these jackets for 3 to 4K, that to a new brand. But I'm almost sold out. And that is what is crazy about the Indian market right now.
Okay.
People are willing to spend so much money on a
Yeah.
new brand, and they don't care. They're spending money.
Yeah, because I mean, your purchasing power has evolved. The middle class is booming like anything. The government is even helping them to spend by reducing your amount of tax very soon.
No, no. Is it? Is it
Yeah,
going
yeah.
less?
I heard something. I was reading the news yesterday.
Heard
and
it
they
here
were
first,
saying-
guys. Your taxes are
and
due.
and they were saying for any incomes lower than 1.5 million rupee, which is about
15 lakh.
15 lakhs
15
a
lakhs.
year, you will be spending less in tax.
Did you hear about the 3 different taxes for popcorns?
Oh my God.
Please tell me you heard about
I
that.
don't even want to
Venture into that.
understand about it, because it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And but to be honest, it's not only in India. Like even in France, we've had such scenario where like same kind of things where like sugar will be taxed at like say 5%, but candy will be taxed at 18%.
But the thing is, okay, the whole point of a GST was that everything is standardized. That was the only reason why they got it, and they removed VAT. So the whole concept was that there's going to be a single tax. But now they're pretty much going back to
No,
VAT.
but the thing is, you can't charge the same amount of GST on necessities and entertainment. You don't. I mean, it's not the same. It shouldn't be as approachable as necessity and entertainment. And I mean, at the end of the day, like government can make money out of a couple of things. So like it has to be done. It has to be done this way, and the same way you'll not have GST on vegetable at 0% GST.
So, how much, like, compared to France and India, the GST and taxes, what do you think about just the percentages, taxes, and what you're getting back and stuff like that for your Paris Panini?
The only problem with Panini is we don't have GST input. So basically, all the expenses that we do, we don't get any credit of GST. So which is like not that great for any business, because yeah, like those credit would help a lot. But well, if you ask me, between Europe, France, and India, we pay lesser amount of tax in India, but I would say the outcome is not as good as in Europe. Like sometimes I actually wonder where are my taxes going.
Okay, wait, so there's this road near my house, okay, and there was a pothole there, and the autos would like every time they come here, go down and come back up. So this person, this very smart guy, he didn't want to fix the whole road. Generally, you fix the whole road, right? He's taken some road tar,
Some
and
debris and he's put it.
put it up. So now it's become a hump. Okay, so now the autos go like that.
So wait, did they do anything to him? Did they like fine him for all that? No.
Nothing.
No, I mean, Jugaad, no, you do your own thing and figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, in India, that's how, like, also people, sometimes it's better to do it yourself than just waiting for something that is never going to happen, right? But even when it comes to those roads, like, sometimes you wonder, I mean, I live in Indiranagar, 100 feet, they redo it every year. You're like, is it really required to rebuild the road while like you guys did it last year? So that's when you start realizing that there might be something wrong the way things are handled or rebuilt, or how the public money is spent.
Yeah.
I have a question about your about the business actually. So you told 2014 you came to India, right? Did you realize the potential for foreign food? Because if you look at it now also, most of India is India 3, India 2, right? The lower middle class and below that also. The majority of food consumed is in a price bracket and the type of food also. So the price bracket is below $100 or below 150, something like that. And the type of food is not very Western. I think at that time, like the most safe Western food you could get is like something like KFC, Burger King, stuff
Subway,
like that.
McDonald's,
Yeah,
all
stuff like that.
big,
Like the big MNCs.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that was the most commercialized one. And even they were struggling to keep their prices up to par for India 2 and India 3. So when you came, how did you know that the reception would be there? Because it was such a with the crowd.
It's a very interesting question. So at first, when I started the food truck, most of the people were coming and checking the menu, and they would buy only fries, because fries was something that they would be comfortable, familiar.
They know it, yeah.
So, but sandwiches was something that they would not necessarily be familiar, and a lot of people have actually started eating or ordering sandwiches because they felt that the fries are so good that I guess the rest of the menu must be also like great. So that's how, like, from like one item I was able to captivate this audience to turn them into a Panini consumer. And in terms of price, again, 10 years ago, I was selling fries for 100, not even 100 rupees, for 80 rupees. I was selling the Paninis also for, when I started, it was like 120 rupees, went up to 150 rupees, which, I mean, now has quite evolved, and I've changed a lot of things in my, in the concept, between like the size of the bread, between the kind of bread, between the whole offering itself. So I think you figure out things along the way. You like, that's what I always also give as an advice, like start with something. Like, for example, you have like a dream jacket, you have like just even 2 jackets in mind, sell them, sell out, and from there, like, just try to understand like your audience, and from there you build your product, you improve your product, you give a different kind of offering. So for example, for me, it was, I had like fries and 5-6 panini sandwiches, and from there I built on, like, okay, I introduced salad, I introduced soups, I introduced different kind of bread, different sides. So like overall, you start like small, and from there you build your business.
Right. And go for
I've
it.
noticed that. So Supreme.
Yeah.
Supreme was like a street where it was for skaters.
Oh,
So
okay.
It's like,
I don't
so
know.
so how a company generally starts, I've noticed it with a lot of companies, they tend to a small community, okay, like skaters, and they provide like a good product for them, and then it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and now look at where the company
I think it's like
But
one
I
foot in
think
front of the
Supreme
other.
was not even targeting skaters at first. They just realized over a certain period of time that they were actually catering to most of the skaters. So like it became a skater kind of brand.
Yeah, but then the skate culture also has so many different, like it relates with the whole hype culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's how they popped off.
So, do you think like the consumer is key? Do you think, example, you like a certain bread, okay, and the consumer likes a certain bread? Do you listen to the consumer, or are you like, okay, no, I'm winging it. I really feel like this bread is better and it'll work, or are you gonna listen to the consumer?
No, I'm at a point where I gain enough confidence to believe that I'm able to bring up a better bread that you would even think of.
Okay.
Right.
So that's what you need to think about. It's not just what people want, it's like what you believe with your skills set, with your experience, what you can be adding to the table. Because, like, if it's just a mainstream tout, like, great, fine, but you gotta dig a little bit deeper and find, like, something that is very unique and something that has a lot of value.
I think like when you create some, like obviously when you start off, I think it's more sensible to listen to the consumer.
Yeah.
But then later you also want to create a culture of your own that people like.
Yeah.
So therefore you have to venture on and take those
So
risks.
it might take more time because, for example, even me, when I started Panini, so that was called Le Casse-Croûte before. People,
Sorry?
It was called Le Casse-Croûte.
So that's so hard to pronounce.
Can you spell that?
LECASSECROUTE. Le Casse-Croûte.
Okay.
So people used to call it La Casa, La Casa Croûte. So that's why also when I decided to open outlets with Nikhil and AB, we also decided to rebrand because it was becoming difficult for people to understand what it is. What is this brand about? What we're doing? You know, it's very vague. Like
Relatability
Yeah,
was,
exactly.
So let's get back into when you came back. So you started your food truck, and you told that you had issues eventually. So what were these issues that you faced when you had this food truck?
I was not able to operate as freely as I thought I'll be able to. And when you see overall the food truck concept is parking at different location at different time of the day.
Okay.
But in India, when I started, it was pretty peaceful. Nobody knew about the food truck. We were like 20, 30 food trucks in town, like great time. But later on, we like the cops and municipalities got involved, and they were kind of chasing us because there was no rules or regulation about food truck. So they just felt that we are like easy target because there's nothing to legally frame what we're doing. So easy target, but at the same time it made it really difficult to scale because, like, I remember like few times not being able to reach the lunch spot because cops stopped me on the way, asked me for driving license, everything. And even though you show them whatever you have, I had this Orca license at that time. That was the only thing to regulate the
Food trucks.
street food vendors basically, but it was not meant to be for food trucks specifically. Okay.
Okay.
It was for like mobile itinerant vendor. So like the cops would know about it, and they would not they know that they can take money out of this, as simple as this. So they would do, but sometimes the problem is I would not reach the spot on time, then the whole lunch session is gone, if not even in the evening while reaching the dinner session. So see, as much as I love making food, as much as I love cooking and making things by hand myself, I was feeling really bad to waste the food also because of some unexpected things, like some operation struggle. So that's when like I started a small takeaway counter at my kitchen, and from there I was selling, and I was on Swiggy and Zomato, and I found this part of the concept to be more scalable. I mean, to be easier to scale than the food truck.
You're talking about the online presence.
Yes,
Okay.
online as well as even offline by just doing like takeaways at the counter itself. because I realized like how hard it was to get things ready on time at the kitchen, load it in the truck, then move your truck to a specific location, reach on time, eat up your like do your mise en place, do your prep. So it was becoming like it was really stressful. It was the food truck years was why I lost most of my hair is because of the food truck time. Man, it was very stressful. Like as much as I love like engaging with the audience, as much as I love driving the truck everywhere, meeting people, serving people everywhere in Jai Mahal, in wedding ceremony, in like we've done a lot of things, but at the end it was so stressful. But what drove me in this is I knew that the product had a lot of potential. I knew like people love the product, and it's just because I didn't have the money to spend in marketing or the money to spend in uh, setting up an outlet in a very high traffic area. So I was in a small, tiny lane in Tipasandra with my food truck running around. So like basically I had a 5-star product, but with like a 2-star
Two-star
experience,
exposure,
kind of a thing. So as much as I knew the concept and the product had a lot of potential, I was kind of stuck.
So what was your, so every company has their small big break, right? For us, it was that Mallu reel.
It was at Mallu reel.
So
yeah.
used to make videos for 3 months, nothing happened. We used to get 1,000, 2,000 views. And then one reel where we spoke about Malayalis. Do you know Malayalis?
Yeah.
Yeah, Malus.
Obviously.
Right.
Do you know Malay?
Yeah.
You are.
I'm a Malu. Okay. So we spoke about Malayalis and the reel blew up. We started getting likes every second and we just got on call like, bro, something crazy is happening. That was our
There
small.
are a lot actually in Bangalore, no?
Yeah. We're everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere, bro. Everywhere.
Yeah. So that was a small big break. And wait, what do you think about Malayalis? Have you met them? Have you?
Gee, I mean, I don't judge people by where they come from and all of that. It's
No, but do you have like a
Favorite-
Like, do you
Like-
think of Malayalis and like, is there like a personality?
Something you associate with them.
associated with it?
not really, not really.
Okay. So we have like a thing planned, the breakfast thing. We have like a Malayali cuisine, Kerala
Nice.
cuisine as well. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we should try that out.
So yeah, coming back, what was your small big break?
On what?
In Paris Panini?
Like, where was the time it took off? Like, you knew,
Yeah.
okay.
Like it's not a big break, but it's a small big break.
So it took some time, like because the whole food truck things was about like getting a proof of concept that I kind of got, because then I was able to partner with AB and Nikhil, who are now my partners, and they invested money in the business as well to open this first outlet, and later on obviously scale the concept. It didn't come overnight for sure. We started the outlet in November 2019, 12th May, next to Pizza Bakery, like very prime location. I think probably the best location in Indiranagar at that time. So tiny space, 500 square feet. But what I like about this also tiny space was the fact that it's very similar to a food truck concept, like where like
Yeah.
you see the whole assembly line and cooking line. You go and order at the counter, you sit, like it's a whole comfort vibe, comfort casual vibe that I wanted to set. So that was the very beginning. Now when it comes to success, it was not an instant success at all. It took time. It took a couple of months, I would say, a couple of months to reach out to the right people. Then COVID. So I started in November 2019. By Feb, we were doing decent, I would say, but then COVID hit. So COVID hit. What we had to rethink on how to reach out to customers now that we don't have this fancy location, because you can have a fancy location, you can have fancy interiors, everything, but if people can't come to your place, what do? So we kind of put everything on of packaging, delivery. It had to be like foolproof delivery. like it has to, we rethought of the packaging and product to be like delivery friendly as much as possible. And I think since it's quite a delivery friendly product, and as well as it's a quick, we are pretty quick in terms of preparation of the product. On Swiggy you can get it delivered within 15 to 20 minutes, so it's fairly accessible. We are also like pretty accessible in terms of prices, and we are also, again, this in terms of taste, we are very different from people, very unique from other restaurant, because we are a French cafe, French restaurant, so fairly yeah, different from anywhere else. It's our unique selling point is basically we do sandwiches that we bake the bread, we daily bake the bread, we make all the sauce daily as well, we cook everything from scratch, we use local ingredients, but we twist it with French recipes. So that's our kind of USP, because even when I started this concept, I had seen so many restaurants doing everything in house, be it the burger bun, sourcing local ingredients to have like the freshest kind of product. So that's the concept I had in mind before starting, and that's what I felt was missing in India, when like people loves street food and loves like some kind of casual meal, but the product that they used to get was not really high standard. So that's what I wanted to kind of elevate the game in terms of making casual yet 5-star product. So I can give you a fairly good example on this. So I started with two partners, okay, two
Right.
French partners. They were here with me. I mean, they were not.
Oh, they were both French.
So they were both French,
Okay.
and so they were not helping in running the food truck, but they were mostly, they helped in setting up the company. Like great help. I'm forever grateful to them, because we had a good couple of years when we started together. Then when I was looking for investors, because I needed some external funds to come in to scale the business, and they were also not able to help in pumping in funds. So I was looking for investors. I felt like, I mean, I got a lot of rejections, and the main rejections was, so I was owning 60% of the business at the time, and they had 40%.
Those are
But
the two.
yes, the other two. But the problem was, in the investors' eyes, was they were not necessarily adding any value to the business, since I was the only one working, and I was the only one like, yeah,
Running around and doing
doing all the work. So I had to take a decision on this, to kind of got my partner to exit the business and get the new people onboarded. Now, two things. My partners wanted obviously a piece of the pie, and so for the investors, it was either we pump money in the business and it's all in growth, but not acquiring shares of someone who's not adding, or who has not added value. So it was either they pump in money or they're out. And in my other like in the other side, my partners obviously wanted a piece of the pie, so I was stuck in between, like what to do. I either, like, it sounds like I can kind of lose everything in this. I can either lose my business continuing with my current partner, knowing that they don't want to dilute, but they want to continue a business that is making okay money but not able to scale.
Was it
Or
almost like
on
break
the-
even?
It was breaking even.
Okay.
It was doing okay, like we were making profits, but not enough to scale the business. When I
Okay.
say scale, it's when you open an outlet, depending on the superficie and all of that, you easily, I mean, for us, let's say we spend on average 50, 60 lakhs on an outlet. Now to generate 50 or 60 lakhs of profit
Yeah. Okay.
on the short term, it's not even possible, but even like it'll take you some time. So I was stuck between like investors who wanted to invest but did not want to uh, pay like my partners, like in the sense not pay but just buy them out. And they just want, like, people wanted to invest in the business but purely business. So like I had to take a decision of separating from those old partners, and those kind of decisions are not easy because it was, if I had listened to them, I would have probably gone back to France by now and would have not found any investors. And now because I separated with them, I was able to partner with people and go in that scaling the business direction.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you take decision. My old partners were like against me for, let's say, a year or whatever, and we were having some really hard conversation even though we had been good friends for a couple of years. Because when it comes to business, sometimes you have to take decision that are not necessarily comfortable, but you should think of probably
Long term, like.
the long term. Exactly.
So how did you convince them, or how was the deal structured where they exited your company?
So when they exited, I basically told them, see, you can take anything in the business, all the assets in the business belong to you. I'm going with the brand.
Okay.
Because the brand, I built it myself for the past couple of years. Even all the assets of the company I had bought with my own money, but I still told them, I give you all the assets. I'm taking the brand since I'm literally the face of the brand, and I'm the one who's been building this brand over the years, and you've not been part of this. So I leave you the assets, and I take the
So
IP.
did they take the assets?
They took the assets, and they sold. That's why they sold the food truck.
Oh, they
So
sold it.
otherwise I would have, maybe I would have kept it, in the sense I might have not used it, but I would have kept it for like a kind of collection
Maybe,
thing.
huh.
And
But
it's-
so is this the point where in your business it was like the point that was the closest to giving up?
yes.
Oh, this was the point. So you didn't. So until the partners were involved.
In 2018, before meeting Nikhil and AB, I had met some investors who were ready to invest in the business, and like it went on for a couple of months, and at the end they backed off, and they made me understand that, okay, fine, if you, like, we are not ready now to invest, so please take your things back and do whatever you want. It's fine, we don't want to invest. And I had put like my stuff at their place. Like we had started a deal basically, but
Unspoken.
unspoken, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna tell those guys' names, but it's because at that time I was running like low on profit. Like, let's say I was getting 1 or 2 lakhs of profit a month, and from that I had invested in their place, in the sense to set up with them and everything. And at the end I had to move back, and it was quite a strategic decision, but at the same time I was like burning money while I was with them, and they were not giving me money. And at some point I'm like, see, I'm like, I need money, like that, otherwise I would have not been raising money. And when the moment I said I need money now, they told me, you can go, if you need money, then you can go back to your kitchen, your base, basically your base. And that's what I did. But it was quite difficult because I already had invested money with them, and everything was gone down to the drain, and I was actually lacking funds to even pay my supplier's bill. So thankfully, my parents would be able to support me at that time. That was in
That's very
2018.
lucky. That's very lucky.
And
yeah.
2018, and then I started 2019 in with the with a mind of, okay, now that I've been asking my parents, like, I'm still running a food truck, it's been 5 years, it's going on. 2019, I do find partners or I exit. Like, because I can't be like just keep doing this for, again, 1 or 2 lakhs is nothing when you run a business.
Yeah.
It's not a business, it's like it's
Hobby.
a hobby.
It's a
But
hobby.
so that was the point where you were closest to giving up. And
Yeah.
I want to ask you, what was your contingent plan if this didn't work out?
See, I have a master. I have a master in international management. I have good placement with my business schools. I could have gone back to France and just work in a big firm in marketing or something. And you know, that's what I would have probably done. Now, thanks God, I don't have I don't have to go that route. And yeah, like, even though I'm saying like, yeah, I was about to go back to France, I was really, I believed in the product 3000%, if not more. So like, I was really confident that it's this far from getting successful, but I just need
Something needs to click.
I just need that little bit of luck to get the click and like kick this off.
Yeah, when you were talking about you have that the masters and you could go back to France and work in that big firm. I think the issue we face like as youngsters is that I'm sure like Afzal has his jacket brand but you also will have a safety net, right? Because you have this big dream, you have this big vision that you want to fulfill, and you have a safety net. But the thing is, after a certain point of working towards that, you don't even feel like your safety net is a safety net, because if you go back to your safety net, you lose yourself.
Yeah, true.
It's like that. So I think that's the
it's more of I mean, as you said, safety net, and you know that at the end, even if things do not work out, you still have something left. But you're not 100% sure of that you want to go that route. So that's why like your focus is still more on your entrepreneur, like your passion route, because at the end what drives you is like passion. It's things that like you don't feel it's a task, or you don't feel like you're doing something that is exhausting.
Are you familiar with the way the youth works in Bangalore? Like the way they graduate from college and the type of parental situations they put in? Because it's so hard to do what
it's very different. It's very different from Europe, I think. I mean, even in terms of studies, like we have here, you have first grade, second grade, third grade, 12th grade. In Europe, we have like
1 grade.
Yeah, I mean, not 1 grade, but like before you have high school, you have college, and yeah, I mean, you have definitely different grades, different specialization as well between business, between science and all of that. So we have also a common ground in study, but I would say the surrounding or how the education works here compared to abroad is fairly different.
So for example, someone like me, a college person, someone like Kenneth, with what you've learned about Bangalore and India, how can someone like us, a college student, set up a business like yours, a panini business, or a food business?
So think about what would be your unique selling point, because there are a lot of competitions here in Bangalore when it comes to food, or when it comes maybe even your jacket, you have a lot of competitors. But what sets you apart from the competition? So that's one thing that you really needs to nail when it comes to running or even starting a successful business. Like, it's about how do you stand out, what is your unique selling proposition, and even once you know about your uniqueness, you build towards this, and you make it even more and more unique. And that's how at the end people, like, they will feel that there's value in your product, and that's how they will also remember you. Like, let's say you go to, when you think about beer in Bangalore, where do you think of going? I would say Toit.
Kenneth, well,
Beer in Bangalore?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Toit, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I would say
what would you
Toit.
say? Toit.
Now,
Okay.
if you say like, I mean, biryani, we all have like, let's say one place in mind for one product.
Meghna.
So yeah, that's
Okay.
that's how you kind of set yourself up in that market. And when I started Panini, my thing was, I want people, when they think about sandwich, to think about Paris Panini. And that's a kind of a long-term goal that I had, because it's not an overnight thing that you can change people's behavior about like, oh, now they're ordering Subway, they're ordering candies, they're ordering this. Overnight, you can change them to order from you. You have to work on the concept, have to work on your storyline. Why are you starting this? What kind of why this product? And yeah, like you work on one product, the story, the concept, and then you get ready basically to be very, like, I mean, a unique concept.
Yeah,
need
so
at the end.
you told us about the storyline and why you started. This was supposed to be asked much long ago. So why did you start, and what was the what led you to it? Because for me, why I started Calico was I had this jacket. I really loved this jacket, and it was from this company called Snitch. We had the
Okay.
founder on. So this jacket, I was in the signal, like I was waiting, and I saw on the right side the stitches started coming off, and I loved the jacket, and I got so pissed that day it was coming off, and I couldn't do anything about it. So I went back, found some manufacturers, and I designed the same with a little bit of different design, and I started. That was my first product, and I just expanded to 8 products. So what was that moment for you?
Where it's like, yes, Paris Panini.
That was the lack of having good sandwich in Bangalore. Like,
Are
there
you
was-
serious?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it was like back in 2014. So the lack of having good sandwich and making also French food affordable to people, because Café Noir was there in 2014. I was actually eating their sandwiches and I used to love them, but their sandwiches were at, like, say, 500 rupees a sandwich. 500 rupees back in the day, 10 years ago, who would have spent 500 rupees for a sandwich?
Yeah.
Not so many people. So, and on top of that, like, I felt that I could build even a better sandwich, a better offering than them, and with, again, keeping this French recipe, French tradition in mind, because even for my initial days in Bangalore, I realized that people are very they don't mind trying out lot of, like, different cuisine. They are like, Bangalore is so cosmopolitan at the end that people don't mind. I mean, or you'll have one friend who's from Nepal, you'll have one friend who's from
It's diverse also, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, that guy will take you one day to the restaurant because, yeah, he loves this. And at the end, you have such a diverse offering in Bangalore that I felt that even people in Bangalore love French food. They love, like, anything about French, be it Emily in Paris, be it the food, be it even in terms of football club, PSG. Like, people are quite interested about the French culture, be it even for study. Like, we have really good business school or schools in France. So people are okay, I would say, to try out. Now you just need to give them a reason for them to try your product. But yeah, like, the main idea behind started Paris Panini or Le Casse-Croûte was like the lack of good sandwiches and the fact that I wanted to make French food affordable to people in a more casual format. Because even me, while growing up, I used to have sandwiches every single day, and if there's one thing I could have till I die is
Sandwiches.
sandwich and bread. I love sandwich, a good loaf of bread, fresh. And even at that time in 2014, I would say the exposure to good bread was not there. Like, you couldn't find, like, great places for bread. Now you can. You have good, like, you can find good sourdough bread, like really good home baker. But back in the days you could not. So that was my aim of having a home baked bread with homemade ingredients as well, be it the mayonnaise made from scratch, be it ratatouille also made from scratch. The French fries, I used to cut peel, cut, and double fry my fries. So like it was actually mad because we were very famous for our French fries.
Your French fries, it's so crispy. Like outside it's crispy, and when you bite into it, it's like
Yeah.
very soft.
Oh, is it like the thick? Because I haven't actually tried the
thick
French fries.
Belgian French fries. So that's also part of my while growing up. So I'm from Lille, and it's the neighbor city of Belgium. And in Belgium, we praised by potato, and French fries are like religion to us. So like for me, I've had like since I was growing up, I've been like very close to like I was always having like French fries, and you have even those caravans selling only French fries in the north of France. So for me, I had this of if I start a restaurant, if I start my my own thing, I would definitely want to have this part of my heritage part of the business as well.
Is it true? French fries, is it from France?
No.
'Cause it's not.
It's not, right? Why do they call it that?
Huh?
French
Where is it
fries.
from?
Yeah, why do they call it that? Call it French fries.
Why is it called French fries? Good question. I actually know. I researched on this, but it skipped my mind.
Oh, man.
But yeah, French fries, you probably get them the best in France. We fry them in beef fat. We fry them in a lot of different fat in Europe and in France. I obviously wouldn't do that here because
You can't.
I would get like in big trouble. But yeah.
Okay, I have one more question before we move on to the food part.
Oh, food's here.
Cool. So, I wanted to ask you about what do you think about the ad culture here, and do you indulge in ad culture, advertising culture?
Okay.
Like, have you thought about a certain type of advertising path for
So
Paris Panini?
ads when it comes to food, or ads when it comes in general marketing, like
Let's go food first, and then what do you think about advertisement in India in general?
see ads for me, I do spend on ads on daily basis through Swiggy and Zomato because they are my they are the bridge between the restaurant and the customer. That's how I do most of my business also, to be honest, with online delivery. So spending on ads, I think it's very much required now because people are just a click away of ordering, and if it's not right in front of their eyes, they will not know you exist, or they will not know anything about your product. And you know, that's what is like sometimes it's kind of sad because there are a lot of excellent product, but since they don't get that exposure, like you can take the example of Le Casse-Croûte. If I didn't get the exposure, or if I didn't get the investment part, I might have just shut down, and it would have been nothing right now. But because I was able to, and because I was able to raise money, I was able to spend money, I was able to spend on ads, and you know, it's like a domino effect. So, but I feel that ads, it's much required in today's world because be it on Swiggy, Zomato, but as well as social media accounts, people spend so much of time on social media nowadays. It's insane.
We were just talking about that, yeah.
Before, like, people would have spent a lot on Facebook or even like print board, billboards. Now there's nothing on billboards. People just want to spend.
It's only the big companies that have money to dump.
And because they're also like old school in the way they work, and they've done this in the past, and because you have to cover those billboards anyway, so someone will be there to pay.
It's cheap.
And it's probably again, exactly, a low between supply and demand. And since the supply is fairly high compared to the demand, they can get it at a much cheaper rate. And the ads that you run online, you will have quite a bit of a struggle to get them at the right price. Let's say Zomato sells like ads position on their website. The more money you have, or the more money you're ready to spend, the better exposure you will get.
Okay.
So, for example, in the beginning, I didn't know that sales and marketing, it goes together. So I had a product, I had my jacket, and I was like, why is no one buying it? Then I realized like no one knows you have the product. You're just hiding it in your house, right? And then this guy comes and he's like, this one influencer comes and he's like, bro, can you send me the jacket? I liked it, and he made a video, and that video blows up like it's 40-50K, and his other influencers asked me,
Nice.
and it's like word of mouth.
Yeah, influencer marketing is very important nowadays. It's part of the, I mean, it's not ads, but it's part of your marketing spend.
Like if you're scrolling on Reels and you see a creator that you like and they're promoting, it's just there.
And at the end, now you have so many good content creator, as simple as this. Those content creator will expose your product better than you're doing.
Yeah.
As simple as this, because they have the skill set of like showing a product in a really good way, that like you might as well rely on other people who are like really good at it to just do the job for you. As simple as
But I
this.
think one problem with influencer marketing is that the image of the brand could get manipulated.
See,
Like-
I totally agree with you, and for that you also have to take judgment call on will this guy's vision aligned with my product or aligned with my company's values and vision. Because if you don't do that, that might again like backfire to you, and some people might actually feel not part of the same group or part of, you know, more and more we have this community thing, and I'm sure with the brand that you're building, you think also about of this, because your buyers are not just buyers, they are like part of your community now.
Exactly.
So that's what people rely on more and more. And if they don't feel that, okay, this guy is promoting this product, I thought I like this product, but since this guy is promoting it, I'm out of this and I'll be part of like another community kind of a thing.
And one more reason why people like influencer marketing, I feel like the best form of marketing is influencer marketing right now, because people want to feel like it's genuine. When they see it in like an IPL ad, okay, there's so many things that went, it's not genuine. I feel like we all want to follow someone who we can relate to and
Yeah.
who's genuine.
Completely agree.
But I think with some brands and some products, I'd rely more on the IPL ad, because I know that the fact that they're there and the fact that there's an ambassador like that representing them, I know they're good.
Much
You get-
bigger
yeah.
brands, much bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, they have big budgets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but or you'll also have some breakout company. There's something new that just started that somehow found that in their budget and just started giving it.
Yeah.
So I think there's that factor of
I think this marketing spend can't be ignored, especially nowadays where like everything is connected. So like you must spend, like even if you at the end you don't investigate like how you can use AI in your business, it might also be like a kind of stock and stop or breakthrough for you later on. Because yeah, like as much as we are all connected, the technology impacts your business, and AI obviously is a kind of integral part of your business nowadays.
Okay, Nicholas, we have a segment planned.
yeah.
Where
Fun
we
one.
have 3 different breakfasts. I mean,
Okay.
it's still too late for breakfast now, but it's masala dosa.
Okay,
That's a
from
pretty South Indian place. It was from Paragon, and
I have no clue. You guess, bro.
yeah, and we have appam and egg curry.
oh wow,
So Kerala, that's like a staple breakfast.
I know.
Appam egg curry. Oh, you've been there.
yeah.
Okay.
And I've had also.
What?
I have had also. It's very nice.
Appam egg curry. Yeah.
I'm quite excited.
Have you had
about
poha?
this.
Yeah. And
Poha.
third one is poha for the north.
Oh
for the
yeah, North
audience.
India, South India for the dosa, and
Yeah.
Kerala with the appam. Nice.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
Let's do this, bro. Let's unbox it on camera, bro. Let's bring it to the table. I'll take your coffee.
Yeah.
Guys,
Some stuff.
this is the poha, and we'll be giving it to Nicholas. This is the North Indian breakfast that we got, and he's gonna tell us how he likes it.
Thanks.
Review it for us.
On a scale of poha,
On a scale of poha to not poha.
0 to poha.
oh man, it's very dry.
That's what I
so-
never liked about poha,
It's so
really.
dry that like if I get like couple of spoon,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to talk to you.
It's like getting sand.
My mouth will run dry. I'm sorry. But it's nice. It's very nice actually. But you know, I'm not used to that kind of breakfast, I'm not so familiar with this. For me, like breakfast, it's more like fruits,
Yeah.
nuts.
Something
This
simple.
This is very like heavy,
Nah.
and I guess it's kind of nutritious as well for sure. But I find it too heavy for my.
Hey, you're
liking.
North Indians, you gotta fix your breakfast, dog.
I think with poha, like how he said, like this is heavy.
Yeah.
I think one of the heaviest breakfasts out there is like, which place has the heaviest
Bro,
breakfast?
Kerala.
Kerala. What do
Bro,
you get for
paratha
breakfast?
and mutton
Paratha,
curry.
oh my
chicken
God.
curry.
For like first thing in the morning.
Bro, we Mallus eat like.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Even rice, like I understand. Like some people go and rave about this biryani at 6 a.m. I'm like, how can you eat biryani?
Oh,
at-
bro, it's horrible.
Yeah.
So we went for this ride, the Hoskote biryani you're talking about.
Yeah.
So we went for a ride and we reached there at around 5:30.
And?
There's people out there and they're ordering this. Like it's spicy as well. It's spicy. It's not like a nice simple palate. It's spicy and they're ordering so much of it.
One
Thing
camera
is,
focus.
that place does business from 4 a.m. onwards.
Yeah, that's what.
Which is insane to
But
think.
but as much as I've picked up a lot of tradition and cultural stuff, if you ask me to eat rice in the morning, I'll tell you, I'm sorry, my French
Yeah,
is
nobody
still,
can. Nobody
Nah,
can.
So, like, Mallus.
Or
I
you
feel
can
like,
eat rice in the morning as
Like,
breakfast.
for Malayalis, right? For,
Okay.
like, a lot of South Indians generally eat veg food in the morning. But Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, everywhere. But in Kerala, bro, it's completely different.
Tell me
you
to
eat
that.
beef.
Beef, mutton,
good.
chicken, egg curry, like, breakfast is heavy.
Nice.
Yeah, lunch heavy, dinner's... I think
Dinner's heavy,
light.
lunch is heavy,
Dinner's
breakfast is
little
heavy.
Little light. but-
Dinner's a little light for you.
Yeah.
Dinner's very heavy.
Well, in
Do you have a heavy dinner? Do you
No,
like no?
I can't, because if I have a heavy dinner, it impacts my sleep. So by the way, if you guys are the Whoop, you could find out that heavy dinner are not most liked by your body. Like
Okay.
it impacts your sleep quite a lot.
Yeah.
So-
yeah,
So
that's true.
I'll rather have a heavy lunch, light dinner, and like dinner, let's say, finish it 2-3 hours before sleeping.
Okay.
2-3 hours.
Yeah.
What about breakfast? Like light?
So
So it's light, heavy,
So
light.
I'm like in between like intermittent fasting and normal
Diet.
normal diet. Yeah, because I usually eat a very late breakfast. Like I eat breakfast around 11, if not 12. So that way I can space my meal and I try to finish it around 8-9 o'clock max.
Okay, so now we have
okay.
the next one. This
So
is-
poha is overall review of poha
Yeah. Also.
See, if you ask
as a
me,
breakfast.
if you ask me, poha, I wouldn't mind having it like let's say for a snack in the afternoon or like a slightly a different lunch,
Okay.
part of my lunch, yes. But for breakfast, I'm not there yet.
I think personally, you'd have to give this to me in like a small bowl. It's like
Yeah.
a taste. It's like a tester.
Yeah.
Like I like it as a tester.
So
Now, what did you get?
this is.
Oh, this is the
got me
classic.
Oh, your hands are gonna get dirty.
Your home's favorite.
So this is appam and egg roast. Okay, appam and egg roast, and this
Dude, I
is like
love
a
how he
staple.
tears it, bro. It's so not Indian.
So this is like a staple Kerala Mallu food breakfast.
Oh, bro's getting.
Yes,
Very nice.
perfect.
I really like the dipper. The gravy is very tasty. Love it.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, it's a different version of a dosa.
Yeah.
Really?
mean,
I mean, it is, yeah.
See, it's a much
Softer.
flaky and softer dosa, and a dosa is like just crisp.
Yeah.
But the same way you have your gravy, you have your dosa, appam, your paratha, roti. You have like different kind of bread depending on. That's why like in India you have like roti prominent in one part of India. You have appam, you have romali roti, you'll have a parota, you have naan and all of that, and it's crazy and very interesting to see like depending on the region, depending on the state,
Yeah.
like how people eat like a kind of similar item, but in a different kind of way.
Yeah, it's like it's the same
Yeah.
structure, same concept,
Yeah.
but bread, appam. It's like baguettes.
You know what I found very, very interesting? I'll keep this right next to you.
Yeah.
You know what I found very interesting? Ghee.
Tissue?
Ghee is only an Indian thing.
Ghee.
Ghee. Yeah.
In
Yeah,
fact,
they don't have it there.
No.
They don't have it
But it is
abroad.
very healthy, right?
it is healthy, but it's actually a good question why ghee is typically
Yeah, because for me, I thought of it as common as butter.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
In India, it is as common as butter.
Butter,
I mean,
yeah.
I think it's ghee is more common if you compare to even butter.
Yeah,
Here,
yeah.
People are more
Receptive to it. Yeah,
exactly.
they have a lot, especially up north. They dump it, bro. They dump ghee.
The ghee.
Yeah, they dump ghee.
Now we got the staple masala dosa, but
Yeah,
in the end,
you definitely didn't get it from Rameshwaram. I can see it's not like I can't see my face shining into this, so it's not from Rameshwaram.
Rameshwaram, they have like that ghee thing, and it's like blast it into it.
Yeah, the
What?
ghee shower.
Yeah, man, I've never, bro.
You know,
Damn.
see it? But they do that.
Oh, the yeah.
Yeah.
I think with India, serving food is also a style.
Means you mean presentation or
The way they
presentation-wise,
do it,
the way-
dude, the way they make it, there's a lot of movement in what they make.
That's
Like there's a lot of
called
tradition.
Bollywood.
Yeah. That chai and all goes on.
adding,
Yeah.
adding drama to the thing.
And something as simple as coffee, it's like they give you
Oh,
2
yeah.
mugs.
Yeah. Like I feel like if you go to a French restaurant, no one's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
They'll
They're like,
just pull a coffee and give it to you. That's it. You're not gonna like.
yeah, like don't even talk to me. Just
But actually, it's the opposite. They reduce the movement, like slow, like a
Yeah.
little bit, and
We'll use a machine for this. It's fine. We don't need you.
yeah,
there's
it's got
no
like
tradition.
This is my favorite.
favorite.
Masala
Okay,
dosa.
so now if you have to rate all three on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, wait, I'll say that again. If you have to rate all three, poha, appam, egg roast, and masala dosa, from 1 to 10.
Power 6.
Poor 6 don't lie, man.
Yeah, 6 is too much. 6 is too much.
Just give it a 3 already. It's fine.
No, I can't. But yeah, then there's 2 less points differentiation between those guys. But see, I like the most the masala dosa. Obviously, I love masala dosa. Appam comes second. Sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, you
and
know, agreed.
and poha will come last.
Yes.
Yeah, of
So
course.
rating, I can't say any rating. I just I don't want to make people feel bad about it. But yeah, that's my choice of references would be dosa, appam, and
I'll
poha.
say it. I feel like North Indian breakfast is not on point. South Indian breakfast where it's at.
I honestly, bro.
Honestly.
Honestly.
Wait, what's a North Indian breakfast? Okay, poha. What else? Paratha?
But have you tried a French breakfast?
Okay,
Maybe
yeah.
I should have.
Hey, what's a French
if only-
breakfast?
If only you had told me, I would have brought you a French breakfast.
Okay, what is
Man.
it? Just explain it.
It's croissant, pain au chocolat.
Say that again. How do you say it?
Croissant,
croissant.
croissant, pain au chocolat. You have bread and jam. You have eggs and bacon. You have
Okay.
you have like a lot of different way to have breakfast. But I would say like a staple is like a good croissant and cafe.
Croissant or croissant?
Croissant,
And you have coffee with it?
yeah, and brioche and
What's
jam.
brioche?
Brioche, it's like a sweet buttered bread.
Okay, it's like that
So it's
creamy thing, right?
It's like sweet and it's not creamy. Like brioche is
Brioche bun, right?
yeah, brioche bun. It's like
Oh, okay.
a sweeter and richer bread, like more butter, more
Okay.
fat.
And what's the meat with it? Like what's
Brioche.
brioche has proteins in it?
No.
Like what's the protein aspect of the breakfast? Is it just
Yeah, I think we should Google image.
That don't expect anything like French breakfast. If it comes to croissant and pain au chocolat, it's one of the unhealthiest. It's literally butter that you slabs of butter that have been rolled together that you eat. So
That's
it's
it.
definitely tasty, but is it the healthiest? No.
So there's no like meat, like there's just bread and
See,
coffee.
you can have like it'll be like those kind of puff kind of thing where like you have or even like a croissant with bacon in it, a croissant with sausage, but
Okay.
it's not a meat intensive breakfast. We don't have we have like ham and cheese, but again, like it's not a meat intensive thing.
What I was like when you ate the masala dosa and like the appam and stuff, the I mean, are the spices as complicated as
Yeah.
what you'd get abroad? Like, I don't think so, right? Like,
The spice level is
not spice level, but just the mix
spice
of.
the mix. I mean, this kind of flavors you won't get it anywhere
Anywhere.
else. As simple as this. Like the binding of like all the different spices. It's very specific to India, or yeah, not just South India, but overall in India, I would say. And because like those ingredients are also available, like you ask for garam masala and all of that, it's not so commonly available in France or in Europe overall. That's why you have those tiny little grocery shop where you get this kind of ingredients, but otherwise it's not freely like available.
Okay, so coming to the conclusion part of this episode, what's your future looking like with Paris Panini?
Yeah, what's
Are you
your
going to
vision?
move back to France? Is there any plans like that?
Interesting. I'm not planning to move back to France for the simple reason as I feel that I finally cracked something in the market. I finally like it's Paris Panini is finally getting its kind of glorious day, and like it's on a map to expand, to grow exponential. We're having like exponential growth also. So for me, I've struggled like a couple of years, and those years are behind, and now I'm like more into like scaling the business and getting it like up there rather than just like thinking of going back, or like I'm in a really a good growing curve, be it in terms of professional or personal, and I feel that it's a good time for me to really capitalize on the investment that I made before, or even the time that I spent in this company to really like blow the concept and the business itself, rather than thinking how can I how can I entertain myself on doing like some silly businesses, or just or the things that will just take my focus away.
So Nicholas, are you hiring anyone? Do you want to hire anyone? Like, will you be hiring if
Um,
anyone wants a job?
I hire all the time. Please send your resume and I'll get back to you. Depends. We are hiring all the time in terms of kitchen and service, because we always need manpower. Like I feel that hospitality and restaurant is an industry that relies on a lot on humanity and human resources. So yeah, if you ask me if I hire, yeah, I keep hiring, and it's not gonna end tomorrow or next year. So please feel free to send me your resume.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, is there a price you can put on your business that you'd sell it away for? Is there a big enough price that you'd put on it? That you'd stop doing it and sell it away?
Honestly speaking, no, not really. But yeah, I mean, if someone tell me like I'll give you 1,000 CR, yeah, sure, why not?
You'd stop doing it? Like,
Uh,
move on.
You'll find something else, right?
yeah, like I mean, you can also like.
But isn't this your baby? Like,
Yeah, exactly. No, like it's something that obviously you have to think twice, and it's like it depends on the circumstances, because as much as yeah, like great, you'll make money, but what will you do after that? Are you gonna be like are you gonna be still part of the business, because you have a lot of those things that you still part of. But if you ask me now, no, I don't want to sell it. I want to keep growing it, and see at the end, why are you asking me like selling the business? We are only 15 locations. 15 until and unless I would say like I have 100 units, I don't think it's
Okay.
even worth saying, oh, would you sell your business? Because like the crucial years are the initial years that are the most, I would say, painful, but the most learning years also. So like that's why they are so important. and yeah, again, as I said, the most difficult years are probably behind.
Yeah.
So now let me really kick this up, and yeah, then we'll see
It's like-
in 10 years or 20 whatever years.
It's like those painful years are the ones that you're finding the key to open the treasure. And now he's like, open
Now
the
that
treasure.
I'm open, I'm not going
Yeah,
away. huh?
like now his plan is how will I take all this back? Yeah.
No, it's all about finding the big bag and taking it back.
Anything you'd want to say to our viewers before we end?
Well, since it's a fairly young audience, I would say the same as probably you did. Start small. Don't overthink too much, because sometimes even for me at the beginning, I was thinking like, okay, fine, I have to invest all my savings. Is it correct? Is it like something that I should be doing? My family also, what do they think? Like sometimes you overthink and you tend to ask too many people's opinions, and that kind of gives you like mixed feelings. But I would say like be confident, build this confidence inside you, start small and build from there. Because even for me, Panini, when now we say 15 outlets, I started from a van.
Yeah.
As simple as this. And
Yeah.
yes, I had this dream of opening a restaurant. 15, no. Like if you ask me, like 15 came because it came like with my expansion, with the growth of the business. But if you had asked me like 10 years ago, oh, you want to run 15 restaurants, I would have said why. I can run one and
just be
fine.
happy with it, yeah.
I'll be happy with it.
Right.
But you know, like you kind of figure and learn things along the way. So I would say like just don't be like keep your eyes open, keep the opportunities open. Sometimes you might also think like, oh no, I don't want to do this, or no, this I'm too lazy, or this I don't want to talk to that person. But you know, like I've met so many interesting people, and like the same way you came to me and we spoke at the gym, and now we are here doing this podcast. Like the same way I spoke to Nikhil in the changing room, okay?
Okay.
And from there, they decided to invest in the company. So, and then from there, I am sitting here talking about the business. So it's
okay.
just, imagine it was just like a discussion away in the changing room, and everything will blow up. Blow up. It's insane.
You're like one moment away from blowing up. And that
Exactly.
moment was you meeting that person.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes, don't overthink, just do what you like, what you love. Because see, even me, I met Nikhil at the gym. It's like it's my two love between making paninis and hitting the gym. And I'm glad that I made this connection there, because like I mean, for me, fitness is a big part of my life as well. And yeah, I'm so glad and grateful with all the people I've met along the way who've been helping me, who've been like supporting the business how much ever they could. Like at the end, you don't necessarily realize it right now, but it might play a big role in the growth in your future of the business. So don't overthink, start something, stop asking too many people around, be
Confident.
get this confidence within you, and yeah, get this started.
So what can I expect from my company, very small, in the next 2-3 years? What are the challenges that I might, according to you?
See, challenges that you will face competition. One guy the same age will see that you're doing jacket, he'll be like damn jealous, he'll try to copy you. But like, you should not necessarily look at or even be entertained by this. You should keep in mind your focus, which is having great quality jacket that are fashionable, that are like up to the trend. So like for you, just focus on this vision and value that you have, and do not bother about, I would say, other people who will be trying to copy you, because they are just an extended version of you, but the real value, the real hustle is you and what you've been what you're trying to build.
That's crazy.
That's
they're,
mad.
they're not copycats. They're just an extension of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, very insightful episode. We got
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
knowledge from someone who's not even from Bangalore and he knows so much about.
Bangalore, yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Great
to
having
see
you on, Nicholas. Thank
Thanks,
you so
guys.
much.
Thanks,
Lovely.
guys.
See you guys. And that's a wrap.